welcome back to season 3.
Welcome to season 3, y'all.
This is the Growth Show. I don't believe we are in season 3 already. Season 3, February 2025. We celebrated our, how many years?
11th year anniversary.
11th year when we launched this Growth Show. We did it on our, that was 9?
Don't go to math. We did it 3 years ago. Let's keep it simple. Because your math don't be mathing, all right? We did it 3 years ago. We started 3 years ago.
We did it 3 years ago. Whatever anniversary day, that was 10-9.
That would have been 9.
So, of course, we always launch a new season during our anniversary month, during our anniversary time. This year, we celebrated our anniversary in the fabulous Vegas.
Yes.
We had a great time. I think the time it wasn't too short. It didn't feel too short. It was just right.
Yeah,
it was just right for a weekend getaway. Glenn had his time meeting Toni Braxton, y'all. We can't even post that. I mean,
yes. I met the famous Toni Michelle Braxton. I mean, like up front, like kissing her hand and everything, doing the most.
He legitimately fainted in the chair. Okay, when I tell you,
not serious.
it's like I touched the Toni Braxton. I'm like, okay. So we really had a good time. Another good highlight was the Sphere. If you go into Vegas, I mean, it's really. Photos, videos, I just gave up on trying to do it.
Doesn't do it
because you need to go and experience what that is. Just go when you're in Vegas. Just go to this fair, book the tickets.
And the tickets are fairly.
Yeah, I mean, there's different price points depending on the seats.
Yeah.
So we had some really good seats, but you had better prices, you had more expensive prices, you had lower ticket prices. So find the price point that works for you.
I don't think the seats will make a difference because
the
technology is so huge, you'll see it from anywhere.
Yeah, you experience it wherever you sit. So definitely that was another one of those highlights. But anyway, we're not here to talk about our Vegas experience. We are here to talk about this season. And this season is... You ready to say what it's about?
Yes.
Before we do that, let's just remind people of why we do this Grow Show.
Yes.
Tell us why, because I know you wanted really to bring that up.
So for me, this Grow Show is about ministry and creating impact. Mm-hmm. Being able to impact others with our lives. So we have some gifts. God has blessed us in several different arenas. And we want to be able to share that with others. We want to be able to help to positively impact others. It makes no sense growing and not impacting anybody else. So for me, it's about creating impact, helping somebody else in their journey, whether it's business, leadership, marriage, family.
Yeah. And for me, it's that mission and that purpose that I believe that I am called to, which is to spread knowledge so that we can progress society, right? Both Glenn and I are in the education field, and that's what we do. We spread knowledge to progress people, to impact people. And so the purpose of this show is for us to have fun and, to chat and all of that stuff, but really to progress society, to impact people through the knowledge that we have, the knowledge that we gain, the experiences that we have each and every time, the gifts that we've been given, the resources, all of that stuff. So that's why we do the show. So if this is your first time watching season 3, go back to season 2, go back to season 1. I was speaking to someone the other day, and I was asking her to take a look at the show, and she never got back to me until a day later. She said she was so engrossed in the episodes. So go back and watch the previous episode. She binge watched the episode. So, shout out to Angie. And so this season, we really took some time to decide what the theme will be, right? And the theme really looked at who we are, what our journeys are, and then also just appreciating what we would have learned over the years, right? And when we think of who we are and what our journeys are, we wear a lot of hats. A lot of people think, okay, Glenn, pastor, Keisha, business owner, business coach. So, but if you were to go down a quick list of like the roles that you hold, what would they be?
So first and foremost, I'm a kingdom citizen. Mm-hmm. I'm a pastor in the church, Life Changes Ministry. I teach at the University of the Bahamas. I do mentorship. I teach alongside you in your business, soft skills, business leadership, a plethora of
Former chairman of the School of
former
Business.
chairman of the School of
Head of
Business,
department
head
of
of
the School of
Department of
Business.
Management
What
and
do you
Marketing.
teach? Marketing and
In
management.
ministry, I'm the director of marriage ministry. I'm also director of Life University in Christian education.
School of the Spirit.
Do a lot,
Author.
a lot. I'm the author of the book, a fasting book, yeah. What else?
I think real estate investor.
Yeah, I'm also a fitness coach.
You're a
I
fitness
got
coach?
certified. I just do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I wanted people to hear that because sometimes when we introduce the theme, we tend to remind or think that there's one version of us.
Let me hear the version of you. You just talk about me. Let me hear the version. What all do you do?
I am the founder and CEO of the company called the Training Authority, which is a corporate training, business coaching, consulting company. I am a business coach for Hello 7, a master business coach now.
Business coach.
New role for Hello 7. If you know anything about Hello 7, go and check it out. I am also the co-director of the marriage ministry with you, the director of our business owner network, the Boss Network here at church. What else?
You teach
Author
soft skills,
of 2 books. I'm a
technical
tech geek.
skills,
I'm a tech geek.
AI guru. We could just go on and on and on. However, all of this knowledge and all of these skills and all of these gifts that we have didn't just come about. This was years of pouring into ourselves, years of the Holy Spirit blessing us, years of sitting under great teachers like Dr. Miles Monroe,
Yeah.
Bishop Valentino Williams, and so you get to learn so much, years of investing in different resources,
Absolutely.
Gottman Institute. It's just so many things that we have done to build ourselves to where we are at.
Yeah.
And we didn't come from, I didn't come from it. I come from a family where my mom has 10 kids and 8 of them dropped out of high school. So they didn't make it to graduate. My sister and I graduated. And so we start to even see the children of my siblings dropping out. And so I don't come from a family of education and wealth and all these things. And so for me, it was a series of growth.
Yeah, and you didn't say that you were a doctor.
And I have a doctor.
And I shared it because you shared the contrast of growing up with siblings who did not graduate high school to you going to the highest level. And we talked about that at season 1, but I wanted to bring that back up because it ties into what our...
Let me clarify, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a social doctor. Now, enough about me.
And then for me, how I started... I started as a preacher's kid. My father's a deacon, my mom is a minister, grew up in church. But I became a teenage mom. I got pregnant at 17. And from there I was told that I messed up my life, I'd given up my life, what have you, to be able to grow a business that's 6 figures, multiple 6 figures, to have global clients, to be able to have a global reach, to impact people from literally around the world, from startup entrepreneurs to Fortune 500 companies and teams. That speaks of impact, and I just want to acknowledge that we are grateful for that evolution.
And before we segue, you also raised a beautiful daughter who's now 25.
She's gonna be 25.
Very successful in her right, doing her own thing now. And so none of the experiences that you had took you off your path of success.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I always admire about you.
Thank you. Thank you. Which leads to our theme, because we wanted to set the tone. When we think about the theme, because we prayed about this theme, we're like, God, okay, what is the theme for 2025 season 3? And we were back and forth with it, so many themes, and we landed on the theme. You want to say it?
Evolved. And
Evolved.
that's with the ED, evolved.
E-V-O-L-V-E-D. Evolved, not evolved with the D. Now, let's just briefly talk about what evolved means. So I'm going to read this. It's a state of being, living at your highest self now, not waiting for permission. So why did we choose evolved past tense instead of evolve, present tense. You
Or
go ahead.
even
Or
evolving.
evolving. Go ahead,
Yeah.
talk to us.
So for us, well, at first it didn't hit me because I'm like, evolved? We've not evolved. We're still growing. We're still evolving. We're still getting to a next level. And so to say evolve sounds like you've arrived. And I don't ever want us to feel like
Yeah.
we have arrived anywhere unless it's a traveling destination. And so, but then after you created the context and the insight, it's more of a mindset of saying, you know what? I am at a place where I should be, I deserve to be, and I want to be. Yeah? And so
Yeah.
evolve is more of a mindset
Yeah.
as opposed to a destination.
Yeah, it's an identity. You know, when we think of evolved, it's as if we are stepping into who we are being versus what we want to become.
Yeah.
We can spend so much time becoming or trying to become or working on ourselves or growing, which we love.
Yeah.
And then we realize we can get to a point where we never actually become anything. We never actually become evolved to the place or just step into that identity.
To create the impact. Because you can be growing,
Yeah.
growing, getting all this knowledge, getting all this information, having all this gift, expanding, learning. But how have you impacted
Yeah.
with what it is that you have?
Yeah.
I think
So some examples is, you know, from a marriage standpoint, we evolved because we came from different backgrounds, and we had different beliefs about money, faith, lifestyle, and so 11 years in, I think we've evolved.
Yeah.
significantly.
So you came from privilege and I came from
I
poverty.
was not privileged. I was not privileged.
Don't be that person, all right?
I was not
The fact that the first time you drove a public bus transportation was in our marriage about 5-6 years ago.
But is
Say
that
that you're
privilege?
privileged. Yes. The average one of us caught the bus to go where we have to go before we were able to get cars and all that
I
stuff. So,
Whatever.
yeah, don't disown the privilege.
As far as business and career, you know, we went from employees to business owners and
Yes.
global trainers, right? To be
Yes.
able to say now that our work has been featured around the world, that's evolution. From a faith and mindset, from survival mode to thriving, right? You know, I remember our first year in marriage now to our 11th year in marriage, and just looking back at just the abundance that we now live in, the freedom that we now have, the ability to just choose to
Yeah.
fly. Like we talk about that a lot. A lot of people don't have, unfortunately, that luxury
Yeah, and the flexibility.
and the flexibility, you know? And so when we think of evolve, one of the things that we talked about is it can look different to certain people. Now, I was in the bank the other day. We had just come back from Colorado, right? So December, we spent our time in Colorado with family. And we decided to go skiing. We was in the mountains, we went skiing. This gentleman, listen, skiing is not as easy as it looks. You ain't just gliding your feet.
But it's easier than roller skating, I promise you. Oh, for sure.
It's easier to roller skate.
Yes, it's easier than roller skating.
Roller skating. Well, I don't like roller skating either. So, but it was hard to ski.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had a really good time. We dressed up. We bought all of white, and it was a really good, fun time. So I was in the bank the following month, January, and I saw one of my schoolmates. And she's like, "Girl, Keisha, I saw those pictures. Y'all living like white people." And I'm like, and I laughed at her and I said, "Yeah." And then that phrase hit me. It's like, what do you mean? I didn't ask her this because obviously I was trying to get my money out of the
And
bank.
then
blah,
when
blah,
you
blah,
share it with me, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Like, what?
And I don't even want to explore that. I don't even want to address that. I am living like a kingdom citizen.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Like,
And-
what
and
do you
so-
mean living like white people? Snowing in the mountain or skiing in the mountains is living like white people. And when I think about it, I really wanted to write about it. I pondered it for a couple of days because I'm like, what does it mean to live like white people? Is it that we?
I don't want to explore it.
Is it that we are living the life that we envision? And does that mean that we're living
We're
like a
living
certain...
like kingdom citizens. Let's move from that. All right?
So what I have in my notes, because I did put some thought into this, right? They saw us. What does that really mean? They saw us stepping into the life we wanted without limitation, without waiting for permission, without conforming to what was expected to us. The truth is, when you evolve, people will project their limitations onto you. Involved living looks like freedom. It looks like financial wisdom. It looks like making decisions from a place of abundance and choosing excellence in everything. And that can make people uncomfortable.
And healthy relationships. You want to add that in there because
yes.
the perception of marriage is that it's toxic, unhappy. You're putting on a show on social media, you're doing all this. No, people can be happy and express their happiness. It doesn't mean that you don't go through difficult times. Even on the nice, sweet vacation we had just now, we got into an argument on the vacation.
Yeah, we did.
However, the evolved us did not let that disagreement stop us from enjoying.
That was evil.
That's evolution.
For sure, because listen, we did get into
evolution.
It was a small issue, but the old version of us.
Yeah, we probably would have been on a vacation mad for at least a day or two before it come around.
Listen,
within hours
we spent too much money to be in Vegas.
We talked about it and moved on. So the point is
to get to know.
When you see people living evolved and enjoying life and just enjoying the blessings, it doesn't mean that they're not difficult times. It's how we maneuver.
Yeah.
And so a part of our being evolved in our relationship, we are now at a place where we resolve conflict quickly.
Yeah.
We talk about the difficult subjects. Like years ago, some subjects we couldn't talk about freely, or we argued about it. Now it's still disagreement, but then we're able to get back on track and recover. Yes.
Yeah. So when we think of just this season that you're now going to be, seeing or learning from, just know that when we hear the word evolved, it's a mindset.
Yes.
It's really deciding to not become, but deciding to be who we want to be right now.
Yes.
And what does that look like, right? The problem is so many people are always evolving. They stay stuck in, I'm working on it. I'm growing through it. I'm stepping into it. No, we want you to be that version right now because it's our identity.
Yeah. And while evolving and growing is always a good thing, you could just be constantly growing and evolving, but you don't reach a place now where you start to make decision and impact others.
Yeah.
Because that's the end goal. How can my life, how can my gifts, how can the resources that was afforded to me impact somebody else in a positive way?
Yeah. So this season is all about stepping into who you are right now. And so if you are listening to this season and thinking, listen, I want to live this way. I want to live fully. I want to live evolve. How do I do that? There are going to be ways that we share in the remaining season, season 2, 3, 4. We're going to be giving you opportunities to work a lot closer with us rather than just listening to us. We're going to provide those opportunities. And so I encourage you to stay tuned to this season.
Wow.
We are excited. You're going to see us evolve even in real time on this set. I am so excited about what we have planned for this season. I want you to get excited. And I want you to think of someone who perhaps you feel can benefit from watching what this season is about based on what you heard us talk about, and just invite them, share the link, right? Tell them to go to thegrowshow.co or share this link that you're watching it and really get people to appreciate that they can no longer become, they can be.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
And for me, it's all about the mindset and the mindset change. Be prepared to have a mindset shift.
Yeah.
So don't watch a show or come into this thinking, with no preconceived notion. Just come to see what you can learn, what you are able to take away to impact your life and those around you.
Yeah. So until we get to season 2, 3, 4, 5, we want you to live
Evolved.
evolved. Bye.